So let's begin. So the session today is, we're still on the gut. And our session today is focusing on the connection of the gut to the heart. So we are now well and truly in the middle of our descended colon, and that particular section connects to the heart. I'm also noticing there is a band of blue, like an orb, that is very present and joining us, which is all about the expression of who we truly are. So yeah, it's great to see that orb, but the video will look really quite interesting with that orb coming in and out. Okay, so our session today focuses on the connection of the gut with the heart. The heart, as at an emotional level, is its integrity becomes weakened when we are holding some form of grief or sadness. And the grief and sadness that is held in the heart is not necessarily limited to what has occurred in this lifetime. So when we take birth on the planet and when we carry anything from past lives, and if there's any of that relates to sadness or grief, it's the heart that gets compromised as at an integrity issue. So it's useful to be aware of that, but it's also very useful for us to be doing this work, connecting to the heart from the gut. I know that we have worked on the heart as an organ by itself. The gut connection ensures that adequate nutrition continues to reach the heart. Some of you have also asked me if I had studied all this, in my biology class. I mean, I did graduate, I am a biology graduate. I did get a gold medal. But they don't really teach you about physiology. So it's, I did all of that and got the gold medal really because I didn't want any interference in terms of, being able to go out and enjoy the love affair I was having with the man I married 7 years later. So it was so much easier to just study hard and get some really good grades and be recognized. And that's why I did that. So I would say I became really good at playing the game of getting some good grades at the time. This sort of stuff hadn't settled in, but maybe there was some opening that was created. So when I started receiving these as downloads and met some amazing descended masters who taught me a lot about our physiology and our bodies, I was able to pick things up and connect the dots very, very nicely. When I was growing up, my grandfather, with whom I spent the first 3 years of my life, he was a very renowned Ayurvedic surgeon, an Ayurvedic doctor. So one of the things he had was like a lifestyle sculpture made out of wood, which was where each organ was like a series of little like jigsaw puzzle pieces. So you could take the pieces out and you would see what was underneath, what was underneath, what was underneath. It was quite something that he had got one of his pen pal contacts in Germany to create and send over. So it must be quite a big thing for him to bring that together. And then he did that just so that it would be interesting for me to sit next to him as he was diagnosing people and treating them with his Ayurvedic medicines. And I'm sure something like that would have registered in me too. And all of this stuff that is now coming out as we are doing this beyond meditation work is, again, connecting the dots. I'm so fascinated and also surprised at the gut. What an organ, huh? And as we work through each of these organs, how amazing, how much depth there is to each one of them. And how each one has its own unique qualities. And there are certain stations, or organs that are like stations in our body that connect to a whole variety of systems, like our dental cavity was. And now we are working with the gut and how precisely it is connected to each and every organ that makes up our physiology. So one of the originating seeds, if you like, that implants grief in our system, which adds to the heart becoming, out of the integrity of the heart being compromised, is that grief of the soul being feeling that it cannot express itself fully through a human form, which seems confining. So that's like the first piece. That's a first seed of grief. And that seed acts like a catalyst. So once the seed of grief is planted, through that conflict that Beyond Meditation addresses, it immediately unlocks all of the other types of grief that may be held at a cellular level somewhere through our past lives. So the originating seed is the grief of the disconnect between the soul and the human presence. And then that multiplies, and it multiplies by adding to it the grief that we might have been born with through our past life experiences. And that could be through, cellular memories based on whatever it is that might have occurred in our past lives. So all of that then gets added on, and it puts a load onto the heart. Now, from that point on, the heart is well and truly, in its integrity, it's compromised. So as life progresses and we experience feeling let down or anything like that, or there's anything at all that creates sadness within us, it just layers itself on top of the grief that is already held in the heart. Now, when the heart is compromised, the heart is a very complex system. And it is actually like a master system, so that sits on top of all the systems. Even though the heart itself, connects to all of the organs, it is always treated from a creator point of view, it is always treated as one big organ that is working together. So when the heart is compromised, it has a direct impact on whatever it is that is being pumped out of the heart, whatever it is that is being received into the heart. And the systems and structures that support the pumping in and out of the heart. So it has a direct impact on our flow system of circulation. It has a direct impact on all of the vessels that make up the circulatory system. So as a result, when we hold on to stuff that doesn't serve us, plaque is readily formed as a way of protecting the blood vessels that are going in and out of the heart. But if we actually release the grief and the sadness from the heart, the integrity returns. And because the heart is an organ that is like so active all the time, from the time you take your first breath until you take your last one, when you actually release the grief and sadness from the heart, it autocorrects very rapidly. And with the autocorrection of the heart, you literally see the autocorrection of anything that's been compromising on the various blood vessels also. That was my experience for myself. And that has been my experience when I have done this work with others as well. The beauty of releasing the sadness and the grief that diminishes the integrity of the heart is it literally brings about a shift in your mindset and the choices that you make for yourself, the choices of actions, the choices of indulgences, the choices of connections, the choices of thoughts, the choices of foods. All of that shifts because the heart is recalibrated. It was very interesting for me to observe for myself that when I finally released the grief and the sadness that was held at a nanocellular level within my heart, that was directly connected to food or eating disorder experiences that I've had in the past. It just changed forever. And as many of you know, I practice OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and have been doing that since the time we began the lockdown. And that just became, a breeze as opposed to something that I had to really struggle and work with. And I attribute it to this knowingness that I have now developed, that it came from that release of that last bit of grief and sadness in my heart. And we'll have another session to talk about what was that I'm talking about. It was something that I discovered during some of my amazing journeys that I have had the opportunity to do during the time of the lockdown. And it was much more to do with, what created the coronavirus in the first place. And as a result of going through this journey and allowing myself to be present to the grief and sadness of humanity, I was able to just get to the other side of it and cross the threshold, which resulted in me experiencing the same incident as the crown phenomenon, the phenomenon that opened our crowns, the phenomenon that reconnects humanity to the majesty of who they are, the phenomenon that literally places the crown on each one of us, so we can emerge in our magnificence as our majestic selves. And that came from that last bit of processing of grief and sadness. So we're going to begin now. Get yourself comfortable. Make sure that your back is supportive. And you can be resting your back against a chair, or you can be sitting up straight, feet on the floor. You can sit cross-legged for this one. The base of your spine is connected to the core of the earth. Drop your hands on either side of you, palms facing forwards, fingers slightly stretched. Imagine the tips of your fingers are connecting to the core of the earth. And you're connected to the core of the earth through a golden cord. It does have the precious metal gold in it. It also has bronze, a very mature bronze that's become a little bit like grayish black, like my kaftan that I'm wearing. And it also has the presence of a very sparkly specks of ruby, like translucent ruby that has been embedded in this. Bring stillness to us. Take your hands, you can put them on your lap, palms facing upwards. In the middle of your left hand, place There's a crystal of ruby that is in the middle of your left hand. In the middle of your right hand is the presence of a wand that is made up of clear quartz. It's called spatic, which is a clear quartz that is emanated from the caves in the Himalayas. And you're just holding it. Your right hand is holding like a fist, as if you're holding the wand. And this wand, the thing about the spatic crystal is what's different about it from clear quartz generally is when you rub two spatic crystals against each other, they actually spark up fire. So they literally create a spark. Take a deep breath in, focus your attention into your heart, breathe in love, kindness, and compassion, and breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion, and breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion, and breathe out gratitude and peace. We're going to go ahead and do the 9-4-6 breath straight away. And then we're going to focus our attention on the heart. Remember, the 9-4-6 breath aligns your mind brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. Connects your mind that oscillates between past and future. And is about survival. To the heart, which is about the presence of the now. To the gut, which is a steward and a custodian of all of the wisdom of all the various journeys that you've had as a soul being. But this alignment, before we do the work, is extremely important. And it's extremely important because we are going to be releasing the grief and sadness from any of the journeys of you as a soul being that you might have engaged in this human form or another. But anything that came into this human form with a cellular memory of grief and sadness is actually being uncovered. It is being ruffled up as we do the 9-4-6 breath. The gut is releasing those cellular memories. And it's really releasing the remembrance of it as opposed to the memory itself. And it's that remembrance that is starting to highlight for us all those pockets of grief and sadness that exist in the heart, and and those that may have been inadvertently pumped out of the heart. And this applies to any aneurysms that also may exist within the heart or outside it that may have come out as a result of the pumping action of the heart. So breathe in. Breathe in to the count of 9, hold to the count of 4, and breathe out to the count of 6. So breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a really deep breath in. Just imagine the breath going all the way to your third eye, and from the top of your crown, traveling down to the base of your spine. And when you breathe out, you're going to breathe out through your heart. So breathe in love, kindness, and compassion, all the way from your third eye, top of the crown, down your spine. Breathe out through your heart, gratitude and peace. Do this once again. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out through your heart, gratitude and peace. You can now breathe in and out of your heart. Just breathe into your heart and breathe out from your heart. Just imagine yourself as if your eyes are settling deeper into your eye sockets. And in settling deeper into your eye sockets, there's a vision that gets created. And that vision is like a spotlight. And that spotlight is connecting the vision of your eyes to your heart. And that vision has a very soft, gentle, silvery pearlesque light. And it's a light that has the illumination of very unique cosmic powers. And that light literally is shining into your heart. There is nothing for you to do but to just allow that light to shine into your heart. And as it is shining into your heart, it's a light that has all different temperatures. It can become icy cold to freeze out a pocket of grief and sadness that can literally then be taken out with your Spartak crystalline wand. And it's a light that can heat an area up to such an extent that it melts away so that it can be excreted out through your normal channels. It's a light that is now attuned to the rhythm of each one of you. And with us as a circle, the light is becoming attuned to our cumulative circle of beings that are holding the vibration of the human vibe attunement. So with this attuning, what is now being surfaced are any pockets of grief and sadness that disconnect us from the love that we are. Any grief and sadness that may be held because of our misconstrued perception about love, about unrequited love, about love that we wanted to share but were not able to, love that we wish to receive and feel we still haven't. So all of this stuff that separates us at a surface level or very deeply from the love that we are, and gives that power and prowess away to someone else or something else outside of us, those conflicts are now being resolved. and a realignment and reattunement is taking place. You may find as if you stop breathing momentarily and just allow yourself to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Every time such release is taking place in the heart, it may cause us to gasp, or it may cause us to just forget breathing. And all you have to do is, the moment you remember, just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And yes, we are moving a lot of energy, so your body is going to be releasing that energy in the form of air, also in the form of water. So you may find yourself salivating more than you have done. Keep your attention on your heart. Now you can take your left hand, the one which holds the ruby. You still have the ruby in it, and you're just bringing it to your heart, as if the ruby crystal is being held between the palm of your hand and your heart. Ruby brings a very unique stillness and a centeredness within you. Okay, that ruby stillness is a state of this true observer, where you can be still in any environment and nothing takes you off your foundation. So by holding the ruby there and breathing in and out, you're breathing in love, kindness, and compassion into your heart, and you're breathing out gratitude and peace. You're bringing that state of stillness. That state of stillness allows the heart to recalibrate and return to its originating intent. And the originating intent of the heart is presence. And it's really about presencing your presence. That is the innate vibe of the heart. And when you become comfortable with presencing your presence, you are in your truth. You find your rhythm. You are in flow. You are in stillness. Some of you may feel that your heart is beating fast. Right now, it's only recalibrating to return to a state of stillness. Others may feel they can't even feel their heartbeat. Just allow your heart to make the choices that are the best for it. There's a form of vibrational matrix rhythm that is being applied to the tissues around the heart to release any angst that may be held there. And in doing so, we are at the same time introducing exactly the same matrix rhythm in that section of the descending colon that corresponds to the heart. So you may feel some peristalsis setting in, and it is not going to destabilize you at all. You may feel it. You can put your right hand over it whilst you'll keep your left hand over your heart. If any of you feel that you need to stand up because of the movement in your colon or in that whole region where your small intestine is, just stand up. It'll settle down and you can sit down. Some of you may feel you want to move your jaw around. It's really because the canals of your teeth are receiving these pockets of very deep nutrition that is for the heart. So all the organs that connect to the heart, directly or indirectly, are actually receiving these pockets of nutrition and nutrients that are being released right now. It's okay to yawn. Just allowing that energy to move through you. And those of you who are in awareness, I just want to move your lymphatic system a little bit. So just imagine, just rest on your heel while you're sitting down and tap your toes onto the ground. Just moving your lymphatic system, just allowing the lymph to move. Because the matrix rhythm movement releases a lot of lymph that may have been stuck. Okay, you're going to rest your toes now. Lift your heel up, put your heel down, lift your toes up, put your toes down, heel up, heel down, toes up, 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 toes down. Re-establish your strong connection to the ground. Now, some of you may start seeing some colors. What I'm bringing in here is that translucent light of cosmic light. And layers are being applied to it like a veneer, very sheer veneer of a shimmer. And for some of you, that shimmer is muted silver. For others, it's muted gold. And for some others, it has a shimmer which is like slightly pinkish red coming from the ruby that you are holding. And for some, it is not a shimmer at all. It in fact is a very royal blue. And as you're looking at whatever the colors are that are being shown to you, and if there are no colors being shown to you, that also is fine. You're actually literally, by the nature spirits that we have connected with and reconnected with, each one of you is being wrapped in a beautiful blanket. And it's a blanket of peacock blue and green. With the peacock blue and green, you experience a popping open of certain energetic blockages in your heart. And that popping open immediately melts away. Very hard-held pockets of sadness and grief. And as you give permission for yourselves to release this, without getting seduced into the desire to know what that is being released, you literally start to rise buoyantly. A lightness of being, which is in the attunement and rhythm of your being, sets in. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. And this declaration is being made by your heart. Your heart is now in the human vibe attunement and is presencing the harmonized connection between your soul presence and your human form. And this declaration of the human vibe attunement, every word, every syllable, every sound, every vibration of every letter that is coming out from your mouth is being circulated across your entire body. This declaration is connecting us at a nanocellular level, releasing all that no longer serves, illuminating, amplifying, and shining the light on that which is in the attunement of you. Whole and complete. Nothing to be fearful about, nothing to be sad about, everything to its own. And everything that is standing in the vibration of collaborative co-creation of coexistence. With that sense of gratitude, hold your hands in a namaste. Release them from on top of your heart. Feel that little bit of touching of your fingertips. Hold them in a namaste and allow yourself to receive the honoring of the namaste. I honor the divinity in you, which is the same as the divinity in me. I honor the divinity in me that is stepping out to connect to and reawaken the divinity in others. Let's begin. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Notice yourself automatically presencing the vibe of love. Notice yourself receiving the vibe of love from your higher self. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your hands in front of your throat, rub them against each other. Put them over your eyes, open your eyes in them. Take them on top of your head, the back of your neck, on either side of your neck, down your shoulders, and do an energy sweep and blow. And if you are in a trance, that's fine, just remain there. The human vibe attunement is complete. If you need to be somewhere, go ahead. And if you are able to and willing to share your completion words and sentences, please do so in the chat. I'd be very grateful to receive those. We will meet again at 5:30 Pacific time. Today we are focusing on the fourth commandment, which is all about take nothing for granted as the modus operandi. And it's a very pragmatic one and a practical tool-rich one. We will see what comes through to share with all of us. For India, this is 6 a.m. Indian time on Friday morning. So thank you all. It's so great to see this orb still there. Can you see the orb? Those of you who are looking at it. Awesome. Thank you. Full of love and gratitude, peace and love. A heartfelt thank you, dear Mynoo. Thank you. I receive. Awakened. Thank you, world and Mynoo. I receive. Thank you. Sharing it with the world too. Light shining in pockets of the heart for the first time. Filled with joy and lightness. Wow, lots of beautiful emoticons from Eliza. Thank you, Eliza. Simultaneously full and released. Indeed, love, heart and heart. Appreciate your healing work. Thank you. Namaste and gratitude. Yes, yes, indeed. I receive and share it back. So many vivid images. Thank you. Love, thank you. Love, celebration. Held in stillness, peace and love. Thank you. Illuminated. Wow, heart clear and sharing, love and light. So grateful, feeling so good. Yes, indeed. Flowers, deep heartfulness. Beautiful tears of grief and tears of joy and finally tears of gratitude. Deepest love and gratitude. Thank you. Gratitude, serene. I may need to do this one a few more times. All I could do was cry. So this is hitting the spot as you are in so skillfully apt to do. Thank you, Danette. Looking beautiful, love, makeup and outfit and earrings. Thank you, Prerna. I received that too. Thank you. And thank you for going shopping with me yesterday. Heart clearing, thank you. Healing, gratitude. Grief release, gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Deep appreciation. And those of you who are going to be there later today and in the morning for us here in India, that would be great. And I know those of you who are in London, it's the middle of the night, so you will get to hear the 10th commandment, the fourth of the 10th commandment on YouTube. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day. Beautiful. Thank you.